Hi, I'm Kate. I'm an ultra runner, a running coach, and a mother of two. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. And here in this channel, I talk all things about running. So today I want to tell you about a little running adventure I went on recently. But first, you might be asking yourself, what's this here I have on my chin? Well, these are wound closure strips. And yes, I do have quite a deep cut in my chin. And yes, that was a part of my running adventure. But I'll touch on that later on. So how it all began and where it was coming from. So the idea was to go somewhere warm and sunny and do my long run there. You know, I'm here in the UK. It's end of November. It's getting rather cold. I usually run in the mornings, so it's just a little bit above zero, sometimes even below 0 degrees. I don't find this weather comfortable for me. Some people do, but I prefer warmer climate. I prefer running in warmer weather. So I thought, why don't I just go somewhere, maybe to the Mediterranean, maybe somewhere else, just in one day. So kind of fly there in the morning, do my long run, and then come back in the evening. So I Googled the tickets. One of the first locations that came up to my mind was French Riviera. I thought maybe I can fly to Nice and run there. A friend of mine lives there. He's a runner as well. So I texted him, said, do you want to come with me? Do you want to do a run with me? I might come just for a day. He said, well, yeah, great idea. The initial plan was that I fly to Nice, catch a train to Monaco where he works. And from there, we would run back to Nice and I would catch a flight back to London. It didn't really work out exactly that way. I did get the ticket. So my ticket there was for 7:30 in the morning. And I was going to go back at something like 9 o'clock in the evening. But it didn't go exactly as it was planned. On the day, I woke up at something like 3:30. So I did need some time to get ready, to pack everything, get to Gatwick Airport. I thought that the best scenario is to actually leave my car at a long stay car park there because, you know, early in the morning, late in the evening, there aren't many traffic jams. So it makes sense to take a car. And then I could leave some warm jacket in the car. So it's kind of easier. There I am. I wake up in the morning, 3:40, go to the shower, get dressed, pack my gear. And I open my email and I see an email from the airline company saying the flight had been delayed by 3 hours. So it didn't make sense to go to the airport straight away. So I thought I'd stay home. I did try to get some sleep. I couldn't actually. Maybe I was just a bit too excited. Probably also a little bit anxious because that was my first trip. I got into the car, drove to Gatwick, left my car there, took a shuttle bus, got to the airport. Did seem quite weird to be in the airport wearing my running gear. There were so many people around in the airport with huge suitcases, with huge backpacks. None of them, I think, were dressed as runners or, apparently it's obvious. And then also it was pretty much cold and I was just wearing running shorts and a t-shirt. I think I did take a vest, a running vest and jacket, like a windstopper jacket. And I was wearing it, but probably took it off the airport. And that seemed weird, but also very fun because you feel like you're a little bit out of place. So you are supposed to be maybe running in the streets in all this outfit, but you're here in the airport. But then it's still okay. It's quite fun. I had my breakfast, waited for the flight, hopped into the plane. I was lucky to be the only one sitting at the row. So I had all 3 seats to myself so I could get a little nap. So, Vadim has sent me a location while he will be waiting for me in Nice. So, I guess I gotta get running to get there. Now, there was a change of the initial plan because we had to play around with it a little bit. So my friend came to Nice, and I ran from the airport to this, famous promenade at Nice. So far, the hardest bit was to understand how to get out of the airport as a pedestrian, because people usually leave it by taxi, bus, whatsoever. Had to find my way out. But just look at it. Just look at this. People who live here must be just happiest people on earth. End of November, it's plus 17. Just amazing weather. And we met there and, started our run to Monaco. It is a very, very beautiful, scenic route. It's all up and down. I think there was something above 300 meters elevation on it. I don't remember exactly. Something like 26K. My friend was telling me all about, the mountains that we see, the bays that we pass. The views were just amazing. Most of the route, you have like a pedestrian area or a cycling route there. At some places it wasn't ideal. Sometimes we had to cross the road multiple times. But generally that happened just a few times during those 26K. And that was really comfortable to run. I think we finished our run in Monaco at the train station at about just before 5 o'clock in the evening. We've stopped at Villefranche to look at this amazing view over the deepest bay, one of the deepest bays in the Mediterranean. It used to be a US military base, by the way. I think it was a good idea to fly here, really. And my friend said he had to go back home. And I thought I'd just stay in Monaco for another hour or so, because I did have that hour, and walk around a little bit. So what I did, I ran up the hill to that famous district of Monaco called Monte Carlo. That's been a run. It was hilly. I totally loved it. I can say that was a great idea to fly here. Well, here we go. Sunset, Monaco. That's the famous Monte Carlo casino at the back. Oof, it's so beautiful. I greatly love the scenery and the whole feeling of just being in another country, being able to run in the warm kind of conditions. Oof. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I haven't been to Monaco for a while, I think for a couple of years. I find that it's interesting to come to same places in different circumstances in life, doing different things. I think I've never actually run here before. I used to come here by train or by car. So this is going to be another memory. It was so amazing. They had that little Christmas fair with all those little stalls there. And then there was this beautiful view over the bay. There was this beautiful sunset. I was walking around, all happy, feeling fulfilled. It was just amazing. I thought, wow, I am just so lucky that I'm here. And I'm so happy that I decided to go on this little trip. The plan now is to go and grab myself a bottle of water. It wasn't a perfect idea to run without any water with me, but I didn't have lots of space in my bum bag. I'm pretty much happy I actually took the jacket and the vest here, because it is getting chilly. What I found is that when the sun shines and when you're in the sun, it's really, really warm here. But then you're in the shade, and now, after sunset, it's getting pretty much chilly. So I'm happy I have some clothes with me. So I'm gonna get a bottle of water. Hopefully I'm gonna pop into some supermarket, get some food, hop into a train, get to the airport and fly back home. Ideally, if everything goes according to the plan, at 10:10, I'm supposed to be back to London Gatwick. Just now, I got a water bottle for €5, but I think that's what it is when you buy it from the Christmas market in Monaco near Casino. When at some point I was walking, thinking about all this, and I tripped, I fell down, really, really hard. And that was one of those chains, they use sometimes to separate some zones in the pedestrian area. So there are like two poles standing there and then just a decorative chain. And, when you trip over a stone or just some uneven surface on the ground, you can actually put your foot forward. So you would probably land on your knees. Can be painful, but then at least you don't land on your face. When you trip over a chain, your feet work as hooks. So basically, you sort of trip over. You can't put either of your feet over the chain, and then you just land on your hands and on your face. So I put my face up and I landed on my chin. That wasn't very pleasant. My first thoughts were, are my teeth still in place? Because the jaw felt really bad. I started counting my teeth with my tongue, and I opened my mouth, smiled, and asked people around, because there were like people gathering around me. I asked them, are my teeth still in place? They said yes. So that was a relief. And I think after that, I started actually realizing what happened. I was wearing this white running vest that I bought recently, and it was all covered in blood. I was covered in blood, and people around me were like looking at me in some shock. They gave me some tissues, directed me to the nearest pharmacy. I came there. I thought I'm just going to get a plaster, put it on there, and, hop on a train and go back to London. But in the pharmacy, they gave me a mirror, and they said, look in the mirror, and probably you should go to the hospital. I did look in the mirror. I've realized that I have a really, really, really deep cut there. So the one that you have to probably stitch up. But my flight was in just 3 hours, so I couldn't actually get to the hospital because that would take much longer. So I got to the airport, I got into the bathroom, washed all the blood off. Luckily, I had the jacket that I could cover the white vest. It wasn't white anymore. So I did put some kind of those, straps that sort of help with a wound like this, but it's extremely deep and I'm not okay. So I have to go get back to Gatwick. I'm gonna grab my car from the long stay car park, drive home, and probably go to an emergency somewhere around, and that's gonna be somewhere around 11 o'clock at night. I can't eat now. I can't chew because I can't open my mouth for two reasons. First of all, it's extremely painful. Second of all, I'm afraid that those kind of straps that I put on the chin, they're not stitches, so they won't work as well. So I'm just afraid that, if I chew and I open and close my mouth, it's going to get even worse. I really don't know what's the solution here. Not eat anything and somehow get to emergency somewhere near my house. So I got into the plane. I started feeling pretty much bad by the time. I think the adrenaline went down, and I started feeling all the pain. It was really painful.
Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat.
As we landed at Gatwick, I went through all the controls, caught a shuttle bus to the car. And by the time I just realized that I can't go to emergency on my own, I'm just not, I just can't do it. Luckily, a friend of mine volunteered to come with me, and he gave me the support that I needed. I think I just needed someone to be there with me because, on my own, it just felt a little bit too much. Probably I would have just went to bed, thought that I'd deal with everything next day. I'm pretty much sure that wouldn't have been, the best solution, because at the same time, I felt like I have to know what's going on there. What if the wound needs to be stitched up? What if it has to be disinfected? What if? So a friend of mine, so I drove to my house, a friend of mine came and we went to A&E. I am very grateful to him that he's done it because it was really hard to be on my own at the time. at A&E that said that I've actually done a great job. Literally, that was what they said, that I put the strips on and they said the wound closed up. I mean, not fully, but I mean to some point. So they just disinfected it a little bit more and took off those old strips, put the new strips on and said they're not gonna stitch me up. So I got back home by about 3:20. So basically it was almost 24 hours not sleeping. I couldn't really get to bed straight away because it was painful. I couldn't fall asleep. Yeah, I mean, probably that's just another life lesson running taught me. But putting that aside, it was really an enjoyable journey, an enjoyable trip. I really, really liked it. It was so nice, running in the warm, running in the sun, seeing those fantastic views. And also what I really liked about it was that, now, putting that incident with the chin inside, I must say that this journey was a really, really enjoyable one. And it's not only that I could see all those picturesque views, that I ran in the warm, that I, met my friend. It's also something about having done so much just in one day, having traveled to another country and having come back home just in one day. And also, you have this feeling that you're not exactly in a place where everyone else would expect you to be, or maybe you yourself would expect you to be. It's just doing something that is not in your routine, doing something new, and having all those emotions, all those experiences. The day seemed very long, not only because it, turned out to be 24-hour day for me, of not sleeping and doing something, but even if there hadn't been that incident with the chin, it still seemed like a very long day because you get all those new emotions, new experiences, and it's really fun because then the next day you wake up and you think, wow, I've done something which feels like something big, and it is something to remember. Now, let's go into some details. You might be wondering how much it cost me to go to Nice and back. What was the overall money I've spent on the trip? It's not that much actually. So the ticket there cost me something like £19. The ticket back was more expensive, around £43. And then I also paid for the long stay car park at Gatwick. That was roughly £20. Altogether, I've spent around £80 on the trip. Yes, of course, I have been buying something to eat, got to the pharmacy, but all this could have happened in London as well. So I wouldn't count that towards the cost of the journey. So £80 for a journey like this. And I must also mention that I got a ticket a couple of days before the flight. It was a weekday, but nevertheless, I think if you plan in advance, you can just look for some nice locations and cheap tickets and get them, 2 months ahead, and then, go for your long runs to some nice and interesting locations. Another thing you may be interested in is what gear I took with me, what equipment, and how I carried it all. Well, basically, I was just wearing my bum bag. Well, now I'm dressed the way I was on the day. So I had my sunglasses, since I was going to Nice, and I had a bum bag. I prefer wearing it this way. Probably most people would wear it this way, but at the back here in the running shorts, I have a kind of a pocket where I kept my tripod. So it's kind of a foldable tripod. And as well, it's worth mentioning that I also had to take some equipment for filming this whole thing with me. So there's the tripod. And then let's see if I just take everything out, what I carried with me. So my shorts also have got some side pockets, so I could carry my camera in them. And then everything else went into my bum bag. So let's see what's in there. a little cloth for sunglasses. So here we go. There is a jacket. I didn't wear it in cons apparently. There is a running vest. I must say a pretty thick one. My passport. I put my driving license into there as well. A charging wire and a European charger for the phone. Didn't really need it, but yeah, could have. My keys, and yes, I don't know why I took such a long trip here, but I did. My heart rate monitor. So there we go, it all fit into this maintained bum bag. Really convenient, and probably you can, you know, not take the heart rate monitor, and you might not need a tripod, might not need the camera. So here we go. That is probably the amount of things you need for a journey like this. So I think that from now on, I will be looking for tickets, some cheap tickets to go somewhere nice and warm. And I will be planning trips like that, doing my long runs somewhere and flying back to London just in one day. So it doesn't interfere a lot with my work. It doesn't interfere a lot with my routine. And I think it's just a good idea to keep on doing that. And probably every single trip like that will be bringing me something new. Maybe new friends, maybe just new experiences, maybe new places. And that's what it is. And that's another thing I like about running. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the like button, help me grow this, and I will be posting more videos which hopefully are going to be interesting and also informative and useful for you. And see you soon.